Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Skill 247 Avenue. Today's lesson is going to be live throughout. Today, we are going to look at how to insert tables and how to insert charts in PowerPoint. This is what our lesson will focus on today. So, without wasting much time, let's look at let's start our lesson. So, I'm going to launch my Microsoft PowerPoint so that we can begin our lesson. My PowerPoint. So let's look at how we can insert the table. So the first thing I'm going to do is I will go straight to the ribbon, to the insert tab, and then I'll click on insert. So after clicking on insert, I will navigate to the tables group, which is here, and then select my table. So as you can see, I can draw my table in PowerPoint with two options. But before we draw the table, let me change the layout of this slide to the blank slide so that we'll have enough space to draw our table. So I'm going to go back to home and then go to layout and then choose this layout, the blank layout, so that we can get enough space in our slide to insert our table. So now let me go back to the insert tab. So I'm going to draw my table right now. So as I was saying, when I click on the table, I can simply drag like this and draw the table I want. So as you can see, when I'm dragging, it is drawing my table in the slide. So I can do this to draw my table. You see that my table has been inserted into the slide here, right here. Or if I want, I can also use the second option. So let me undo this and then use the second option. So let me click on my table again. I'll come to insert table. So when I come to insert table, this dialog box will come on the screen, giving me the option to enter the number of columns I want to appear in the tables and then the number of rows I want to appear in the tables. So I want three columns. So I'm going to type 3, and I also want 5 rows. So I'm going to type 5. So after that I'll click on OK. So when I click on OK, see what I have here. My table has been inserted. So I'm going to start typing my data in the table. So the first thing I want to type here is employee. So I want to type employee here. So employee, let me zoom in so that we can see it clearly. So I'm going to type employee here. so that we can see it clearly. Employee, and then here the next column I want us to type the department of the employee, and the next one the employee's contact. All right, so I just inserted my table. Now after you insert the table in your slide, the table design tab is created, and the table layout tab is also created here on top here. So as you can see, so we have table design here and we have table layout here. So I want us to click on table design. So when you click on table design, you can use it to change the style, the table style you want. So if I hover my mouse pointer around, see what is happening. The style of the table is changing. So this what we have here. I want this particular color. It looks nice. So you see the design, the table design gives us the option to change the style of the table. Now you can also use the table design to add shading to your table. So when I click on the shading, it comes with a color palette here. So when, let's say if I want this column, when I select on this column, I can change the shading or the color shading in this column. So let's try it. So see what I have here. When I hover my mouse pointer around the colors, see that the first column keeps changing colors. So this is how it is. And if I don't want any color at all, I'll come down here and click on no fill. If I click on no fill, see what we have here. The color that was there has vanished, but I want the color to be there. So let me undo it. Let me undo it. And also you can, under shading, we can add our borders to the table. So if you don't want any borders, the option is here. If you want all borders, that option is also here. If you want outside borders, that option is also here. If you want top borders, that option is also here. And if you want left border or right border, those options are here. But I want all borders, so I'm going to click on all borders. So when I click on all borders, let me do it again. I'm going to, let me select the table first. So let me select the table first and then click on all borders. So see what we have here. The borders have been applied to our tables. Okay, and then let's come to the left side here. So we have the options, the table style options here. So if you want to, so if you tick the boxes here, it makes changes to your table. So if you look here, we have the first option as header row. That one has been checked. The second one is total row. That one is not checked. The third one is, let's zoom in, banded rows. So these are the options we have here. So let's go to the table layout and do some other changes of other formatting there. So when we come to the table layout here, it gives us so many options here. Here, if you want to delete the table, you can delete the table, the entire table. This gives you the option to delete the entire table. So let's click on it. So when you click on it, it gives you the option to delete the column, or it can give you, it also gives us the option to delete the rows. It also gives us the option to delete the entire table. So let's try it. So as you can see, we have three columns here. The first column is employee, the third column is department, the third one is contact. So now I want us to delete one. I want us to delete the first one. So let me select it. So I'll come here, I will click on the delete. So when I click on it, see what we have here. Now we have two columns. One of the columns has been deleted. And also, if you want to delete a row, we'll come there again, we'll click on it on the options. When I click on this delete row, sorry, I deleted the entire table. So let me undo it again. Let me undo it. I want us to delete the row, not the entire table. So let's try it again. So I'll click on this. So delete row. So you see that the rows were 5. Now I've deleted one. So it remains 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I want to delete the entire table, I can also do it. So let me click on this again. So delete table. So when I click on delete table, see what we have here. Nothing. The table has been deleted. Alright, so let's undo it. Let's bring back our table. Let's undo all that we've done. So I still have my table here. So let's go back to the table layout. So here, under this group, rows and column groups, here, under the table layout tab, we also have options here. You can insert um, above if you want. You can insert your rows or columns above if you want. And this one also gives you the option to insert below. This one gives you the option to insert left, and this one also gives you to insert your rows and columns on the right. So let's try them. So let's do the first one. All right, so let's also insert below. All right, let's insert left. Let's click on insert right. All right, so after clicking on these things, see what our table has become. After inserting the left, the right, above, and below, see what we have here. All right. So the table layout, we can use it to do a lot of formatting. Even we can also use it to merge our cells. So let's try and merge these cells. I want to merge these three cells. So let me select them. So I'm going to select these three cells. So I've selected the first cell, the second cell, the third cell. So I'm going to merge them. When I merge them, they will become one cell. So let me click on it. So when I click on it, see what we have. Now the lines differentiating between the three cells has been erased completely. So turning the whole three cells into one cell. So this is how we merge our cells. You select the cells you want to merge, then click on the merge feature or the merge command that is in the merge group under the table layout. Alright, we can also split our cells. So for instance, let's come to this cell here. This cell here, I want to split these cells. This cell. So let me come here. Let me go to the table layout and then click on split cell. So it gives me the option to, it is asking me how many columns I want to split it into. So 2, but I want to split it into 3. So I'll click on 3. How many rows? Only 2. So I'll choose 2. So if I'll choose 2. So let me click on 2. When I click on OK, see what we have here. The cell has been split into 3 columns and then two rows. It's right here. All right, so this is how we insert the table, and this is how we also format the table. Now the next thing I want us to talk about is the chart, how we can insert the chart. So that's the next thing we are going to talk about, how to insert the chart. So let's look at how to insert the chart. We normally use charts in our presentation to add information to the data we are making the presentation on. So let's move on and then look at how we can insert our charts. All right, so let's create another slide. So let's go to home and then create another slide. As usual, I want a blank slide, so we have it here. So now let's navigate to the insert tab here, and then go to the illustration group here. We have our chart here, so I'm going to click on charts. So this is our chart. The first thing we have is the column. The second one is the line. We have pie. We have bar charts. We have area, and then map and other options. But I want us to select the pie. So I want us to select the pie. So I'm going to double click on it to insert it into my slide. So I just did that. It is loading. Let's allow it to load. All right, so note that anytime you insert your charts, an Excel document comes on top with the data in the chart. So you can clean it and then enter your own data. So this chart I've just inserted, it came with an Excel sheet. So the sheet contains sales. It contains information about sales. You can see it here. And then we have first quarter. First quarter, the sales number of the first quarter is here. We have second quarter, third quarter, and then fourth quarter. So if you want this information to remain there, you can leave it, but you can also change this information to your own information. But I'm not going to change this, so I will just close the Excel sheet. So when I close the Excel sheet, this is what we have here. All right. So when you look at this chart, below the chart, we have our legend here. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. So the first quarter, the blue indicates the first quarter, the orange indicates the second quarter, and then the green indicates the third quarter, and then the light blue indicates the fourth quarter. So our legend is under right below the chart here. And on top of the chart here, we have our title. So the title of the chart or our pie chart is sales, which is right here above the chart. So if you want, you can make all these changes. You can move the title to the sideways. You can move it below. You can move it anywhere you want in the document. The same thing applies to the legend I just showed you a few minutes ago. So now let's try to make a bit of formatting to our chart here. So now let's go to our chart design on top here, and then let's navigate to the right side. We have the chart layout here. So the first one says add chart elements. We're going to click on it. So when you click on it, it gives you the option The first option is the chart title. So if you click on that arrow, it gives you the option to even remove the title. None. If you want the title to be above, it is already above, so it is here. If you want it centered, you can do that, and you can click on this for more options if you want. All right, now let's come back here. Then we have the data labels. The next option is the data labels. All right, you can remove it totally, you can place it in the center, you can put it inside, outside if you want. And the third option is our legend. So you can remove it completely if you want by clicking on none. You can place it at the right side, at the left side, and then at the top or at the bottom. So ours is at the top. So let me place it on the right. So let's go and check it. Now this is where, see where our legend is. It has been placed on the right side here. I hope you can see it. So it is right here. So now let's come here to the chart styles and select the chart styles we want. So I'm going to hover my mouse pointer around, see what is happening. The style is changing in real time. So it's changing. So let's choose this one. Now let's come back here to the layout and then select a layout here. So let's select a layout. I like this one, so I'll choose this one. All right. So this is our chart. This is how we insert our charts in our PowerPoint. Now let's click on the formatting tab here. So the formatting tab also gives you the option to add or make further formatting changes to your charts. So we have them here. So you can make a lot of changes to your charts if you want. You can add the shape fill, the shape outline, the shape effects. All of them are here. They are here. You can choose all of them if you want. All right, and then you can also add the word styles to them to the charts and a host of other formatting features. So this is how we add, or this is how we insert our charts into our Microsoft PowerPoint presentation. So this is our lesson for today. If there are any questions, the questions can be left in the live chat. I'll do my best to attend to the questions. So in today's lessons, we've looked at how to insert our tables. So when we inserted the table, we looked at how we can change the table styles, how we can delete the rows, the columns, and the entire table. We also looked at how we can add the color effects and all those things. So if you're online, you can leave your questions. And of course, we just looked at how to insert our charts. So if you're online, you can leave your questions here. I'll do my best to answer the question. Or if there's something you don't understand about this lesson, feel free to leave your question. I'll do my best to attend to it. So very soon we are leaving the beginners level. Very soon we'll be moving to the intermediate. So this is where we have interesting topics like transitions, animations, and when we get to the advanced level, we'll look at the morph transitions. and other current features in Microsoft PowerPoint. How to use PowerPoint to record a video, to record audio, and all those things. So for right now, we are still at the beginners level. We are just looking at how to navigate the Microsoft PowerPoint buttons or commands or tools. So right now, this is what we are doing. So as we move into the intermediate level, we'll start looking at the more complex topics in PowerPoint, like the transitions and all those things, animations, morph transitions, and all those interesting features. All right, so good presentation. Someone just made a compliment. Good presentation. Thank you. I'm thankful you enjoyed it. So as I always say, anytime you watch these presentations we do here, make sure you put them into practice. I know it's not easy, but you have to put them into practice so that what you are learning will not go waste. So if there are any questions, let's have them before we sign out. If there are any questions, you can leave them in the chat so that we can do our best to answer them. All right. So if you are just joining us, we just finished our lesson on how to insert tables and charts in Microsoft PowerPoint. Insert your table. All right. I'm not sure whether I understand the question, but before you select your table, make sure that you place your insertion point. Let me demonstrate it. So let me demonstrate it so that you can see it. So I'm going to demonstrate it. So let me insert a new slide so that I can demonstrate it again. So for instance, if I want to insert a new table, once I'm in the slide, all I have to do is navigate to the insert tab here, the insert tab. So when I navigate to the insert tab, I have my table command here. So as I said at the beginning, I can just click and drag to the number of columns and rows I want here, or I can come down here and click on insert table, and then it will give me the option to manually type the number of columns and rows I want. After that, I'll just click on OK. So if you look at this, I have 5 columns here and I have 2 columns here. So when I click on enter, see what I have here. I have the first column, column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, and then column 5. So, and then I have row 1 and then row 2. So this is how you insert your table in Microsoft PowerPoint. So I hope the question is answered. So let me know in the chats. I hope the question is answered. So can I customize my table? Of course, you can customize your table. So that's why I said that. So let me go back to the PowerPoint again. Let me go back to the PowerPoint. So I have a table here. So right now I can change the color, this color, from blue to any color. That's customization of the table. If I reduce the number of rows or column, that's customization of the table. If I add the row, it's a customization of the table. So yes, you can customize your table. So this table has 5 columns and 2 rows. So let me quickly customize it by coming to the table design. So when I select this orange style, see what I have here. The color of the table has been changed to orange. So that means the table is customized. Okay, let me also go back to the table layout. So I'm going to insert some rows and columns. So you see, I've just increased my rows and columns here. So that's a form of customization. So yes, the answer is that you can customize your table. I hope the question is answered. So if there are other questions, you can leave them in the live chat. I'll do my best to answer them. So what about the chart type? Can I choose either bar chart or pie chart? Yes, you can choose. When I was inserting the chart, I told you that. So let me demonstrate it. Since this is a live video, let me demonstrate it again so that we can see what we are talking about. So let me open my PowerPoint again. All right, so let me create a new slide here. Let me create a new slide. Let me go to home first and then add a new slide. So here I have a new slide here. So I'm going to add a chart. So I will show you the different options. So let's navigate to insert. So I'm currently at insert. So I will navigate to the illustration group. I'm here. If you remember, a couple of weeks ago, we looked at how to insert icons and smart art. So right to the smart art, we have charts here. So I'll click on it. So when I click on charts, this is what I have. So the first option says column. The second option says line. So you can insert lines. And then the third option is pie chart. The fourth option is bar chart. We have area and we have map. We have other options. So in the lesson, I inserted a pie chart. So this time around, let me insert a bar chart here. So I'm going to double click on it to insert it. So yes, pie chart is not the only options you have. You can insert other charts as well, like line, column, pie chart, bar chart. So look at this. I have bar chart here. So as I said, when you insert your chart in Microsoft PowerPoint, an Excel sheet is displayed here with the data that is attached to the chart. However, you can change the data and then enter your own data if you want. If you want to leave this data, so you can easily come here and close the Excel sheet. so that the data can take effect on the chart you just inserted. So I hope the question is answered. I hope the question is answered. So if there are other questions, we can have them in the chat. So this is our lesson for today. Next week, God willing, when we meet on Sunday like this, the lesson on PowerPoint will be about how to use animations and how to use transitions. So that will be our next lesson. We are gradually moving to the intermediate and then subsequently the advanced side of Microsoft PowerPoint. So I hope the questions are answered. Let me know in the comments or let me know in the chat, in the live chat. And it's always important to ask the lesson I just presented. If there's something you didn't understand or if there's something I should have touched on and I didn't, you can ask me and I will do my best to answer it. So if there are no further questions, then I will have to say my closing remarks. Then I will sign out. So always do well to our audience. I will urge you to always put into practice what we learn here. It goes a long way. It will help you. If you put into practice what we teach here, it will go a long way to help you. These days you can't do without tech skills. So these lessons we are teaching here are very, very important, from the video editing to the AI essentials to the Excel and the PowerPoint. They are very, very essential skills. Look at the AI lessons yesterday, for instance. Very, very interesting lessons. But it's a shame only few people tuned in. Sometimes I wonder, these things we are given for free are very, very, very valuable. But I don't know why our members are not trooping in their numbers to take advantage of it. So please, as I always say, put them put the lessons we are doing here into practice so that you can get some knowledge, some IT knowledge. Is very, very essential. It doesn't matter where you are or what work you do. You need these skills. You need them very, very badly, especially in this era of technology we found ourselves in. You can't do away with you can't do without tech skills. So if there are no further questions, I would like to thank you for tuning in to this lesson, and I would like to thank you for your questions. See you next week. Bye.